Jai Hind all of you. I am Mahima Saxena, Assistant Professor at AKGEC College in Computer Science Engineering. Today I am explain basically what are the applications of artificial intelligence and where are we using these applications and why this is important. Now the first is what are the applications of artificial intelligence in today's scenario. If I'm talking about today's world, or if I am talking about today's time, artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, robotics, these are the languages which are like very much in use. These are handy. If these are not present here, if basically these are helping us in making our work easier. If they are not present, like it's very difficult for us to work in some scenario or in some situations. Now I'm back to the topic. I'll explain what are the artificial intelligence applications. The first one is gaming. The second one is natural language processing, expert system, vision system, speed recognition, and handwritten recognition. Now the first one is what gaming. In India, AI is being utilized to develop sophisticated mobile and online games with companies like MPL, Mobile Premier League, using artificial intelligence for enhancing users' engagement and providing gaming strategies. For example, if I'm talking about Mobile Premier League, it's basically a it's basically a game. It's basically an app where users are log in, their credentials will given, and they will play, and they will become an addict also. The next one is natural language processing. Startups like Haptic and Vernacular.ai are rationing NLP to create assistants that understand and respond in multiple Indian languages, improving customer services experiences. The next one is export system. Agriculture is a major sector in India, and AI-based export systems are being developed to help farmers with crop selection, pest control, and disease diagnosis, improving yields and sustainability. The next one is vision system. In India's traffic and public safety departments are using artificial intelligence driven vision system for surveillance, crowd management, and traffic control, particularly in smart city projects. The next one is speech recognition. In speech recognition, artificial intelligence plays a very important role because in organizations like the Indian government, e-government services are incorporating speech recognition to help citizens interact with services in a variety of Indian languages and delegates. For example, if North Indian goes for work for in South India, how they will understand each other language or how they will communicate with each other, it's very difficult because in North India the language is Hindi, and if we are talking about in South India there are different languages like Tamilian and etc. How they will talk to each other or how they will understand what the other person is saying. Because of that, speech recognition is very much important. Now the next one is handwritten recognition. Bank and financial institutions in India are employing handwritten recognition technologies to process checks and forms faster and more accurately. Now the next is what are the language models. Basically, we have different types of language models. The first one is state machine. The next one is rule system. The third one is logic. Fourth one is probabilistic models. Now, if I am talking about the first model, what is state machine? Basically, think of these games like a game of stepping stones where each stone is a state. You can move from one to another transaction based on certain rules. For example, finite state automata. A finite state automata, we are talking about theory of automata in which we have a like Moore to Meere conversion, NFA to DFA, deterministic what is deterministic finite automata and what is non-deterministic finite automata. Then we have pumping lemma, push down automata. These are the sets of a finite state automata. Basically, there are simple state machine that follow strict rules to move from state to state. For example, if we have the input q, input 0, then it will only go from q1 state to q2 state. If we have the input 1, then it will only go from q0 state to q2 state. This is the strict rules that we all need to follow for infinite state automata. Now the next one is finite state transducer. These are like FSA, finite state automata, of course, but can produce output. In finite automata, it cannot produce output. The next one is rule system. What is rule system? Basically, these are set of if-then rules in linguistic. Regular grammars used for simple structures like validating email formats. Next one is context-free grammars, CFG. In this grammar, we check about ambiguity. If for checking ambiguity, we have options like if the grammar has, if for a particular grammar, two DFDs are possible, then it is its ambiguity is present in that. This is called CFG. Good for describing the structure of sentences where context isn't needed. The next one is feature augmented grammar. These add extra information to grammatical rules like gender or numbers in languages. The next one is logic. Everything is basically based on logic here. If we are breathing, like, it's based on logic also. Now I am talking about a logic model. Logic models are like precise language for computers. They have computer understanding, and they help computers to understand meanings and implications. So what I am for example, if I'm talking about a programming language like Python, Java, they all have some logic. If I'm working in Python, then I need to understand Python, and we need to write our logic in Python so that the compiler will understand what I'm trying to say. If I am using Python and Java both, then it's complicated for that particular compiler to understand what I am trying to say, what I'm trying to do. The example, basically types include first order logic. In first order logic, we have different types of like basically deals with objects and their relationship. If I am talking about like modus ponens, modus tollens, these are the first order logic. The next one is lambda calculus, a way to express computations used in functional programming languages and semantics. Lambda calculation is very much important. Basically, it is used for expressing much more detailed. It expresses us the functional programming language and their semantics in very much of detailed format, or a detailed explanation have been there. The next one is feature structures. Like filling out a form, each feature like color have a value like red. This is the feature structure. Basically, this is an example of feature like color and red. The next one is color primitive. These are the basic concepts used to build some complex meanings. Semantic primitives are the basic complex. Basically, these are just a basic concepts which we are using to build complex meanings. For example, if I am talking about alphabets, we have 26 alphabets in our English language. We have 26 alphabets. From 26, these are 5 vowels are also present. With the help of these alphabets, we build like a very complicated or complex word and sentences. Semantic primitives are those basic concepts. Without these alphabets, we are unable to do these, like we are unable to make complex words or complex meanings, etc. These semantic primitives are those basic concepts but have much more capability. The next one is probabilistic model. First, I will explain what is the probabilistic model. The model are like weather forecasting for language, assigning probability to different linguistic events. For example, if I am talking about weighted automata, state machines where each transition has a weight. like a cost or likelihood. The next one is Markov model. Predict a sequence of event where each and every event only depends on the previous one. The next one is hidden Markov model, like Markov model, but the states are hidden and the only outcome are seen. For example, if I am talking about Markov model, it basically predicts a sequence of events, what are happening. If I am applying hidden Markov model on my algorithm or on my data set, it will try to predict what are the possible events have occurred, and each and every event will depend only on the previous one. If I have in hidden Markov model the data, it will store the data, but the value of the previous data, it is stored, and it will forward the data, the actual output will forward as forward the out. If the output is come, it forwarded to next state, and that state will treat that output as their previous data, and it will store in. The biggest advantage of hidden Markov model is it stores the data of previous state. Without the previous state, it couldn't work, it couldn't help. Same, I'm talking about hidden Markov model. But the states are hidden, but the outcomes are seen. The next one is, the models are finished here, and now I'm talking about information retrieval. First of all, in today's time, our information is much more important, because all of we are using like internet, like we are consuming internet like in a very much of quantity. So we have the information, and the information is like very much important. If we are talking about our contacts, our photos, our bank credentials, much more things, and that information is very important for us. But if we are talking about someone else, that information doesn't matter for him or her or for the hacker. We need to secure our information, and if the information is lost, then we need to perform some retrievals, so that our information will retrieve with the help of these algorithm or these set of steps or some flowchart, whatever it is, but we required our information. Certainly, if I am talking about information retrieval is a vital component across various domains in computer science, particularly in area where large data sets are involved. Here, a simplified explanations are, for example, if I'm talking about huge data or document collection, think of an information retrieval system as a vast library, just like in a physical library where the books are categorized or indexed for easy retrieval. Information system must manage and sift through a vast amount of digital information to find where the user is looking for. This is for like a huge data. If we are thinking a information system as a vast library. Now the format of query with the standard query language, SQL, which is a very important language when we want to find information. Suppose you ask a question or type a search or write a query in some system, special database, especially a database, you use a specific language with a particular index called structured query language to tell the system exactly what you are looking for. Structured query language is a language which is used for database, which is used for particularly only for database. If I need to insert something, then we need to use insert command in structured query language. Delete, drop, truncate, these are the like some components or some terms we will use with the structured query language, and then structured query and the database will understand what I am supposed to doing with, or what I want from the database language. This is the like basic language we need to understand. The next one is the generated result model. This is about how the system finds and picks the document that answers your query. It is like having a smart assistant in the library who understand your questions and know exactly where the answer in the countless shelf of books. For example, in library, there will be a librarian. which know all the sections of the book, and which knows which particular book is present and where that book is present. So if I want to take a book of artificial intelligence, I will go and tell them, and tell them that I want that particular book. That librarian will know that book, where the book is put it, and where we need to find the book. It will go and directly fetch the book. It's exactly same the generative result model works. It is a very smart, it is having a smart documentations or smart understanding of that particular query language. Now the next one is displaying results model. Once your assistant find the book, they can show them to you in different ways. Some systems just show you the titles or the brief of summary, other give you more detailed preview, and then there are those that might use fancy visual aids like maps or 3D models to present the information in an easy way to understand manner. Basically, if I want a road map, or if I want to know the kilometers, then the first easy way is to show the kilometers. The second one is literally a road map, where from where to where I go, from here to there. These are the different ways to, basically we have different ways to represent our information. If the agent will the assistant find the different ways to represent your information in a different manners. Now, what is natural language processing, NLP? The meaning of natural language processing, which is a fascinating and rapidly evolving field that intersect computer science, artificial intelligence, and linguistics. NLP is basically focus on the interaction between computers and human languages, enable machine to understand, intercept, and generate human language in a way that is both meaningful and useful. With the increasing volume of text data generated every day, from social media posts to research articles, NLP has become an essential tool for extracting valuable insights and automating various tasks. If I am talking about natural language processing is a field of computer science and a subfield of artificial intelligence. This aims to make computer understand human language. NLP uses computational linguistics, which is the study of how language works. Basically, how language works, various models based on statistics, machine learning, deep learning, etc. These technology allow computer to analyze and process text or voice data, and to grasp their full meaning, including the speakers or writers' intention and emotion. Basically, artificial intelligence is way more vast. In artificial intelligence, there is a in artificial intelligence, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and natural language processing is a subset of deep learning. If now I'm talking about all of the things, machine learning is basically three types of learning. If I'm talking about machine learning, we need to understand there is supervised learning, there is unsupervised learning, and the third one is reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, we have the data and we have the output of that data also. We need to map the particular input to particular output data. Like we have the output data and we have the input data, both the data we have, and we need to map them. Now I'm talking about unsupervised learning. If we have the data, but we don't have the output data. We only have the input data, and we need to apply algorithms like clustering algorithm. Associativity is the part of clustering algorithm. These are the algorithm we need to apply, and then we need to find out what is the data is. And now, if I am talking about reinforcement learning, there is in environment, the agent is placed in environment. The agent is placed, and it will sense towards, and it will sense their what it need to be performed, and it will work on that. And if it it takes one step towards the goal. Basically it's a positive step, then the reward has been given, and if it's a negative step, then some punishment will also given. This is the basic of machine learning. Now if we have the large data set, then we use machine learning algorithm. If we have larger data set, then we use deep learning algorithm. And if I am talking about NLP is basically a human trying to predict human behavior, trying to predict human cells, like how am I talking and how I'm operating things. These are the parts NLP trying to work on it. Basically working on these aspects. Now NLP powers many applications that use language, such as text translation, voice recognition, text summarization, and chat box. You may have used some of these applications yourself, such as voice operated GPS system, digital assistant, speech to text software, and customer service bots. NLP also help businesses improve their efficiency, productivity, and performance by simplifying complex tasks that involves language. Basically NLP is much more vast. Now what are the NLP techniques? Text processing. The first one is text processing and pre-processing in NLP. The next one is syntax and parsing in NLP, semantic analysis, information extraction, language generation, speech processing, question answering, and dialogue system. These are the techniques we need to understand. The first one is text processing and pre-processing in NLP. The first one is tokenization, dividing text into smaller units such as words or sentences. This is called tokenization. Now stemming and lemmanization, reducing words to their base or root forms. Now the third one is stop word removal, removing common words like and, the, is. They may not carry the significant meaning, so we will remove it. The next one is text normalization, standardizing text including case, normalization, removing punctuations and correcting spelling errors. These are called text normalization. The next one is syntax and parsing in NLP. The first one is part of speech tagging, assigning part of speech to each word in a sentence. For example, noun, verb, adjective, these are the part of speech. The next one is dependency parsing, analyzing the grammatical structure of the sentence to identify a relationship between words. The third one is contingency parsing, breaking down a sentence into constituent parts or phrases. Example, noun phrase, verb phrase, etc. The next one is semantic analysis, named entity recognition, identifying and classifying identity in text such as name of people, organization, location, dates, etc. The next one is word sense disambiguation, determining which meaning of a word is used in a given context. Now the third one is coreference resolution, basically identifying when different words refer to the same entity in a text. Example, he refers to John, she refers to Sheila, etc. This is the basic information. Like information extraction, identity extraction, identify specific entities and their relationship within the text. The next one is relation extraction, identifying and categorizing the relationship between entities in a text. The next one is language generation, machine translation, text summarization, and text generation. Basically, if I'm talking about machine translation, translating text from one language to another is the example. Text summarization is producing a concise summary of a larger text. The next one is text generation, automatically generating the coherent and contextual relevant text. The next one is speech processing. In speech processing, two things are present in this category. The first one is speech recognition, converting spoken language into text. The next one is text to speech synthesis, converting written text into spoken languages. The next one is question answering, retrieval based question answering, finding and returning the most relevant text passage in response to a query. The next one is generative question answer. Generating question answer is based on the information available on a next text corpus. And the last one is dialogue system. Basically, chatbox and virtual assistant enabling system to engage in conversations with users, providing responses and performing tasks based on user input. And this is very important. If I'm talking about a chat box and I'm writing some query and it will not respond, it was not responding, then it will frustrate me. And what is the use of the chat box if it's not responding in a particular way, not giving the answer that I required? The next one is sentiment and emotion analysis in natural language processing. If I am talking about emotion deduction, identifying and categorizing emotion expressed in the text. For example, if nowadays like Instagram, Twitter, these are the things are very much in handy. If I tweet something, I tweet some sentence or some paragraph, then it will analyze with that paragraph what is the feelings and what are the emotions of behind this paragraph or behind this sentence. Opinion mining, analyzing opinions or review to understand public sentiment towards product, service and topic. Thank you so much for today's lecture.